I locked 8 martial arts experts in a cage with a knife attacker. Including a special forces soldier, a sumo champion, a kudo expert, and more, so you could learn from their good and bad decisions. And to find out who will become the ultimate self-defense champion. So,
welcome to the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship.
The contenders were ready to face the hardest challenge yet, the blade cage. They will be locked with a knife attacker for 25 seconds for 4 rounds, each with a different twist. And the contender who survives the most rounds will win the challenge. But not all the contenders reached the challenge successfully. Krav Maga expert Shane dropped out due to a dislocated shoulder from the nightclub challenge.
I was very upset that I couldn't do it. It's like the challenge I wanted to do the most.
And from the 7 contenders left, Kudo World silver medalist Vilius was going to go first.
It was like the most difficult one because the knife attacks, there is only 1% of chance of survival if that knife is for you.
Three, 2, 1, go! Vilius managed to pin the knife at the end, but it was too late. After tracking the blue marks on the ex-martial anatomy rash guard, it was clear that he didn't survive the first round. But we'll see if Vilius will be able to survive the second round, which came with a twist. 1, go! During the second round, the attacker loses the knife to see how the contender will react. But Vilius didn't care about the knife. Vilius chose not to go after the knife, taking the attacker down and not letting him grab the knife back. Then after finishing him with knee strikes to the head, Vilius successfully passed the second round. But the third round will test his skills beyond hand-to-hand combat, as Vilius was given a knife of his own to see if he can beat an attacker in a knife-to-knife fight. 3, 2, 1. While Vilius managed to cut the attacker, he got injured much more. But he will have one more chance to redeem himself in the final round with yet another twist. This time, Vilius was given a foam wrench to see if he could use an improvised weapon to survive. 3, 2, 1.
Come on! I swing too much and he jumped with the knife to me.
Vilius got cut too many times to survive this round, but in the end, he demonstrated an impressive combination. Vilius kneed the attacker, then hit him with a wrench, and finally, he used the Atomic Bear self-defense pen, stopping the round. Contenders who hadn't used the pen twice in the surprise attack challenge could use it here, with the best use winning $1,000. If you want your Atomic Bear pen for a special price, go to theatomicbear.com/USDC or scan the code in the corner. Yet before sumo champion Seth began his round, the blade cage already claimed its first victim. But Vilius' strikes were not to blame. During the intense challenge, the attacker pulled his back, and while the on-site medic checked on him, Vilius had this to say about his experience.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Imitating real combat with knife and you can get full power. You shouldn't be going like full power, but when your instinct drives, you naturally do all this like 100%.
But if sumo champion Seth goes 100%, and if that will help him survive the challenge, we'll find out now.
Kind of a nightmare on all accounts. If you take them down, they still have their hands. If you fight their hands, you might get taken down or you might lose position, then you lose the hand. If you knock them out, you're being stabbed while you're throwing punches. I don't really know how this is gonna go.
But despite the uncertainty, Seth did have a plan.
This whole time, I was practicing left high kicks, because I know that they usually hold the knife with their right hand. And the odds are, if they block it, they're gonna stab themselves in the face. And if they don't block it, they will have a one-way trip to sleepy time. I'm gonna throw a left high kick and I'm gonna land it, and that's gonna be it.
3, 2, 1, go!
Scrapes the knife along the floor, and it was perfect timing. As soon as he did, I was like, buddy, you have no idea what I have planned.
Even though Seth got stabbed, he survived this round. That is because the judge Mr. X deemed the kick a knockout shot if Seth hadn't pulled it back, and any damage that happened after was discounted.
This was 100% a knockout shot. Because of the helmet and everything, the bad guy could continue, of course, but if this would have been a real life scenario, this high kick, 100% knockout.
And winning this round was important to Seth. Even though he was in the lead of the championship, self-defense practitioner Adrian and former UFC fighter Natan were catching up to him. If Seth wanted to maintain the lead, he had to aim for a perfect performance. But even though the next attacker was going to lose the knife, that wasn't going to come easy.
3, 2, 1, go!
He drops the knife, I look down at the knife, I look back up at him, he does the same thing. I just shove him.
Seth grabbed the knife and used it against the attacker, surviving the round. But it had a cost. Seth got hit multiple times in the head, prompting a medical checkup to see if he could continue. Meanwhile, as crazy as it sounds, for using the knife against the attacker, Seth could actually get into legal trouble. Whether he would highly depends on the laws of the country, but the main points for justified knife use in most jurisdictions are imminent threat, if the attacker was still coming at you after you disarm them, proportionality, if as much force as is necessary was used to stop the attack, necessity, if you could safely safely escape instead of stabbing the attacker, the law might expect you to do so. But in most cases, if the attacker is still a serious threat, many legal systems would consider using the knife in self-defense lawful, meaning that Seth would have a strong case in his legal defense, as the attacker kept coming at him even without a knife. And luckily, Seth was cleared by the on-site medic and then was given a knife for the third round, which he was going to use in a different way.
I figured Call of Duty style, I'm just gonna get it and chuck it.
3, 2, 1, go!
It misses to the left, and he also did not care.
Since Seth's helmet came off, the round was temporarily stopped, but Seth used this as an advantage.
This is a tactical opportunity. I have an idea of where the knife is, so I start to pick it up with my toes.
Since the cuts after the helmet came off were disregarded, the following cuts on the arm were insignificant, and after Seth used the knife in a brilliant way, he was given a win. And before the next round took place, I was impressed by how much Seth improved since Season 1.
He was always a badass. He always surprises people. But those last 2 years, I know he trained hard for the Sumo Championship. Such a huge difference from Season 1. I'm very impressed.
But we'll find out if that was enough to win the final round with the wrench.
I feel like I've been hit with a wrench 17 times at this point. Makes sense they would give us one.
Go!
While former Special Forces soldier Randy was preparing for his turn, Seth's final round was stopped early as he did enough damage with a wrench. But unfortunately, before that happened, he got cut too many times. Overall though, Seth had a great performance, setting a high bar for the other contenders.
It was better than last time I did this. I still got stabbed a bunch, but way less. Overall, I think my decision making was pretty stupid, but I think the outcomes were better than they should have been.
Meanwhile, Randy, who was catching up to the leaders in points, was going to try to surpass Seth's performance. Go! Randy demonstrated impressive arm pinning technique, an important skill for knife defense. And even though he got stabbed 5 times, a doctor determined his wounds were survivable. But Randy didn't see the next twist coming.
I was very, very fixated on the blade. So when he dropped the blade, he totally surprised me.
Go!
I got fixated on the blade, he dropped it, and then I was getting lit up. I was like, oh,
Randy technically survived the round, but the damage he experienced at the beginning was significant.
I would do that completely different if I were to do it again. I would have made it a scrap. I would have just threw bombs. I kind of pride myself on as being able to adapt quickly, and I feel like I didn't. Yeah, the blade's present, but there is so much more going on in that environment.
And the challenge was going to continue pursuing Randy.
3, 2, 1, go!
While While Randy stabbed the attacker in the neck early on, just right before that, he was struck with a fatal blow himself. But Randy discovered another valuable insight.
From all of the footage that I've watched from situations that have happened for real, you don't see hand switches very often because under stress, under duress, people grab onto that blade. Like, it'll be a sewing machine, but you don't generally see a hand switch because it's a conscious thought. They have to release the hand and then switch it. In a training scenario, we don't treat the training blade with the same respect we would treat a live blade. Therefore, there was a lot of hand switching, which in my head, I should have said, okay, that's part of the game. Now, what do I do about the game? Turn it into a scrap.
And Mr. X agreed with Randy.
Actually, I don't believe that this is realistic of a knife attacker passing the knife because even the knife attacker very stressed, is in adrenaline.
But despite the added unpredictable elements, for the final round, Randy had a new idea.
3, 2, 1, go!
Toss this thing at him, where he gets his hands up, he's temporarily distracted. Realistically, if that's a heavy wrench, that might do some damage. Then I drew the bear. I didn't want to hit him in the neck, so I kind of like hit him in the head and then I locked the pen into his neck, hoping that the judges and the cameras would catch that.
Although Randy was cut multiple times, after reviewing the footage, the judge Mr. X assessed that the thrown wrench and stab in the neck with the atomic bear pen with full weight behind would have ended the fight before further injuries happened. But before jiu-jitsu competitor Josh tried out an even more unusual strategy,
I should say I copied a strategy from a previous contestant called the Jordan.
Randy was not easy on himself.
1 being poor, 5 being awesome. I was like, 3.5, I guess. I know I can do a lot more, it's just whatever. I would have liked it if the rounds were maybe a minute each, but it was awesome. Really well done, well thought out. It's fun. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
And now it's time to find out if Josh's secret plan will be successful, even though he had some doubts about it.
I was a little bit worried because Jordans and my body dimensions are very different. On Tinder, I'm 6'2", but in real life, I'm 5'8".
3, 2, 1, go!
Josh's unconventional strategy worked better than expected. First, he feinted knee strikes, blows that could incapacitate an attacker.
Which in real life I would have kicked much harder. In the scenario, I didn't want to blow out his knees by kicking them really hard.
He also managed to kick the knife from the attacker and then turn it against him. But despite all the effort, Josh's femoral artery got cut, which would result in a quick bleed out. Yet that didn't stop him from giving the strategy a second attempt.
2, 1. Go!
Josh caught the lost knife, used it to distract the attacker, and then applied a leg lock, winning the round.
The guard pull was successful again, I guess.
But then, Josh decided to try out another unconventional strategy.
I knew at this point the attacker seen that I was pulling guard, so I wanted to switch it up a bit.
3, 2, 1, go!
I decided to distract him by throwing the knife at him and rushing him.
Go!
I'm controlling his arm, thinking that I'm controlling the knife arm. I thought he was just like punching me in the back of the head, not knowing that he had switched knife hands and just was like stabbing me in the back of the head over and over and over and over and over.
Josh's thrown knife missed the attacker, and then his mistake of confusing the knife for punching was fatal. But that didn't stop Josh from experimenting further.
So now that I had thrown a weapon at an attacker, I knew I couldn't throw it again. So I decided to fake the throw, hoping that it would scare him enough that I would have a moment to debut some of my striking.
3, 2, 1, go!
What it really looked like was that I just like spazzed really weird. Did this and then like kind of kicked the air and then stood there for a moment.
While former UFC fighter Natan was preparing for his turn, Josh managed to strike the attacker with a wrench, but before that, he got stabbed in the neck. And given that Josh was later cut numerous times, he lost yet another round, overall deeming his experiments only a mild success. But in knife defense, that is to be expected, since as Mr. X explains,
situations with a knife are the worst. I would honestly prefer to face a gun instead of a knife. If it's a knife, you want to stay very far, at least 10 meters. We in law enforcement are trained to pull the gun as soon as we see a knife. The presentation time from picking the gun, the attacker, can surpass 7 meters in those seconds.
But Mr. X had advice.
There are 3 principles in knife defense. First off, you want to pin the arm. When you're very close, there's only cuts, there's no stabbing anymore. The most dangerous part of knives is to get stabbed. Second, wrist control. You want to control the wrist. And the third principle would be destroy the target. You will only survive if you're very aggressive and show no mercy.
Yet we're yet to see if our final 3 contenders, including kickboxing world champion Gabriel and the 2 contenders competing for leadership positions, self-defense practitioner Adrian and former UFC fighter Natan, will be able to survive more rounds than the others. However, before Gabriel could step into the blade cage, something unexpected came up.
You have a stiff neck?
Right after the first contest, it locked up. This morning I was having trouble lifting my head off the bed.
Gabriel wanted to do the challenge, but once the doctor checked on him, it was decided that he shouldn't, which was not an easy decision for the medic as well.
The experience for me is pretty tough. I need to navigate between the competitor ego. Sometimes I need to let them decide what to do, but sometimes I need to be sharp. I need to be like, you are finished.
Yet even though 2 contenders dropped out, all the contenders were cared for in the best possible way. They received regular medical checkups, ate nutritious daily meals, and were given AG1 every day. Because the championship was so intense, it was very important to me that all the contenders would get their daily vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. That's why I contacted AG1 to become a sponsor of the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship. AG1 is an all-in-one supplement that contains more than 70 ingredients, including vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, adaptogens, and superfoods. And the best part is, instead of taking a dozen different supplements each day, all the contenders had to do was mix AG1's tasty powder into a bottle of water. Former Special Forces soldier Randy also had prior experience with AG1.
My wife and daughter, they use it pretty regularly. My daughter, I say, more than anybody in our household. She sees that I take health and exercise seriously. Never forced anything on her, but now she does her own research. I find if my schedule gets really busy, if I'm on the road and I'm not eating as clean as I would like to be, I find this is a great way to get vitamins, nutrients, and minerals that I wouldn't otherwise get.
If you're interested to try out AG1 yourself, there's a great offer right now. By clicking the link in the description or scanning my QR code in the corner, you'll save $20 on your first subscription.
Plus, receive a welcome kit that includes a 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 drops, a shaker, scoop, canister, and free AG1 travel packs.
If you ever wanted to try AG1, now is a great opportunity. Visit my link to learn more now.
Coming back to the blade cage, self-defense practitioner Adrian, who was second in the championship, was next. But to beat sumo champion Seth, who is leading the challenge, Adrian will need to give his very best. On top of that, former UFC fighter Natan, who was going to go after Adrian, was another big threat. In Season 2, Natan won the knife defense challenge in an impressive way, and Adrian wasn't very optimistic.
It doesn't matter how many times you do it, it is one of, if not the hardest scenario to deal with.
3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, go!
Adrian experienced some damage in the first half of the round, but then he showed some great control and headbutts at the end. It also turns out Adrian imitated biting.
Started biting him as well. You know, it's self-defense, so there's no rules, so you got to do what you got to do to survive. You can probably hear it in the video. I'm biting him, so I know Mr. X did, because he was a bit shocked, but he's like, you know, it works.
Since Adrian didn't get cut, he survived this round, and for the next round, Adrian was glad to receive a knife.
This was, I guess, a good thing for me, because it was a bit of an equalizer. I tried to make sure I stabbed him first.
3, 2, 1, go!
Adrian got stabbed numerous times during the round, including a stab in the neck at the beginning, but before that, he managed to get the attacker in the face. And since this could have potentially stopped the attacker before he reached him, Adrian's round was counted as a win. But to catch up to Seth, he had to win the final round.
Three, 2, 1, go!
Although Adrian managed to strike the attacker at the end, the cuts he sustained earlier cost him the round, and the blade cage took a toll on him.
How do you feel?
Exhausted, and I knew I would be. It doesn't matter how many times you train it, you're always going to get stabbed. Overall, it was enjoyable.
Adrian also had a unique perspective, as in the first season, he was the attacker.
Being an attacker, you have a slight advantage in the fact that you somewhat know what's coming, you know what you're in for, but on the same token, I know how tough it is, and I take my hat off to all the attackers in this season and past seasons. Without the attackers, this series is impossible.
Adrian didn't manage to surpass Seth, but Natan, who won the Season 2 Knife Defense Challenge, was getting ready to put on another show, even though he was realistic about his odds.
I know it can be a lost cause to fight against a knife attacker in a closed quarter, in a cage, in a jail cell, in a room. The odds of surviving this are very low, no matter how trained you are. I still believe that you can hit somebody hard enough for them to not be able to continue in attacking you with the knife. And I still believe you can hit somebody hard enough for them to not want to get close to you with that knife.
Natan also took lessons from the previous season.
I didn't want to punch. I think last time I got carried away a couple of times with punching. I was like, I'm just kicking. I only punch if I have to, because that means it's close enough to hit me with the blade.
3, 2, 1, go!
Natan's strike and then later kick to the head without protection and holding back could have knocked the attacker down. And since even the stabs at the end were potentially non-fatal, it led him to his first win. But the blade cage had only begun.
2, 1, go!
Natan's kick at the end looked brutal, but it was pulled, and since in self-defense there are no rules, a technique like that could save his life. Natan was also smart to grab but not use the knife, as this would ensure he wouldn't get into legal trouble after, all in all winning the second round in a row. But then, he was ready to test his knife fighting skills.
That sound good? 3, 2, 1, go!
Natan's knife fighting skills left everyone impressed, including me, the host.
That was the best knife fight. Connecting the martial arts skills with the knife stuff, like wow, that was really solid.
Even the greatest martial artist in the world, Master Ken, was impressed. And since Natan caused more damage before damage was caused on him, he won the third round, leaving him with the final round to test himself at.
Go!
Hey! Let's go there. Let's do it the right way, let's go man to man. But he wasn't willing to. Good thing I was ready to smack him over the head. We got close, we got tight. I got my pen out, started to try and stab him in the neck, stab him in the ribs.
Given that in reality the wrench would be made from metal, the first shot to the jaw would have incapacitated the attacker. As a result, Natan won all 4 rounds, demonstrating an unparalleled performance, even though Natan was challenged on various levels.
When there's more expectations from the audience, but even the attackers, I feel like it makes it harder. But I'm used to dealing with pressure, adversity, crowds, real fights, real knives. Happened before. I feel like I can handle pressure. Pressure make diamonds.
Yet before we learn what points all the contenders received, and before we witness how the challenge was supposed to be done, as demonstrated by Master Ken, there's one more special announcement I have. If you ever wanted to try yourself out at the Blade Cage and some of the other USDC challenges, now's your chance. In 2025, I did the very first USDC retreat, and after receiving great feedback,
this has been the best experience of my life, hands down.
For me, it's
absolutely special.
It's amazing. I'm loving it. I didn't have any expectations, but it's exceeding it.
On June 2026, I will be hosting the second USDC retreat in Lithuania. Learn MMA for self-defense from champion of Season 1, Jeff Chan, self-defense from Mr. X, and try yourself out at the USDC challenges together with me, the host of the championship. And since they say train hard, rest hard, all the while you will be living in a high-end hotel with free daily meals prepared by a famous chef and daily access to pools and saunas to make sure you recover between the training and challenges. Worried that it's going to be too intense for you? There's nothing to worry about. During each challenge, you can choose the level of intensity. So if you're a beginner, you can try the challenges out in a safe way. And if you're an experienced practitioner wanting more, you can really push yourself. There are limited spaces available, so register now at usdchampionship.com/retreat. The first 5 people to register will receive a 15% discount. And now, it's time for Master Ken. Master Ken demonstrated how to do the blade cage at the highest level. But now, it is time to find out what scores the contenders received for the challenge. Jiu-Jitsu competitor Josh took many risks that didn't work out, leaving him with the lowest score of 3, while Kudo fighter Vilius survived only a single round, which was also behind the other contenders. Self-defense practitioner Adrian surpassed Josh and Vilius by surviving 2 rounds, but that wasn't enough to make it to the top 3 performances, leaving him with 5 points. Former Special Forces soldier Randy secured the 3rd place by surviving 3 rounds, receiving 6 points, and getting closer to the top 3 contenders in the championship. And while sumo champion Seth had an amazing performance, which got him 2nd place, that was still shy of former UFC fighter Natan, who dominated the blade cage by winning all 4 rounds, receiving 8 points, and catching up to Adrian with only a single point left between them. But with only 3 more challenges left, and with such a small difference in points, every contender had to do their utmost best in each upcoming scenario to make a difference, while the next one will challenge them far beyond only fighting.